The world was a symphony of chaos. Explosions rippled across the horizon, casting a fiery glow that clawed at the darkening sky. This once flourishing world lay shattered, an ashen shell of its former self. Aaron, the last human leader, stood atop a ridge, surveying the battlefield below a battleground of creatures, each scrambling in vain to escape his intricate trap. Aaron, scarred and weathered, gazed upon the horde with hardened eyes. This battle was his reckoning, his vengeance for humanity. Once, he had been a father, a protector, but now he was humanity's final hope and its final fury. He gripped a detonator, his thumb hovering over the switch. This device was a promise made long ago to avenge the fallen and deliver judgment. The battlefield erupted in a symphony of fire as mines detonated in sequence. Creatures were hurled into the air, their bodies twisting in terror and agony, caught off guard by Aaron's precision. Smoke and debris rose in thick plumes, yet Aaron stood unflinching, a silhouette against the flames, the embodiment of wrath itself. A massive demon loomed above the others, its scales reflecting the flames as it fixed its rage-filled eyes on Aaron. This monster, towering and defiant, was intent on ending the last human's defiance. With a feral roar, the demon charged, claws reaching to tear Aaron apart, its hate blazing like fire. Aaron's face remained calm as he dropped a flashbang grenade at his feet. The explosion of light blinded the demon mid-attack, halting its momentum just as it lunged. Seizing the opportunity, Aaron slid beneath the demon's legs, his blade poised to strike. He drove his weapon into the demon's leg, black ichor spraying as the beast roared in pain. The demon fell to one knee, giving Aaron the chance to leap onto its back, his knife gleaming with deadly intent. He jabbed a shock knife into the base of its neck, sending pulses of electricity coursing through the creature's body, rendering it powerless. Aaron leapt clear just as the demon collapsed, its fiery eyes dimming in defeat. But there was no respite a second. Even larger demon barreled toward him, claws slashing, its face twisted with murderous fury. With precise timing, Aaron sidestepped, hurling a handful of micro-explosives onto its chest. The detonations shredded the demon's armor, leaving a gaping wound as it staggered back in anguish. Without hesitation, Aaron plunged his blade into the demon's chest, ending its reign with one final blow. He turned back to the battlefield, bloodied and breathing heavily, watching as the remaining creatures hesitated, their resolve crumbling. The horde recoiled in terror, some of the creatures trembling as they realized that this human was no prey, he was their executioner. A massive demon, larger than any before it, sneered at Aaron from across the flames, snarling, "Stop this madness, human. Cease this destruction, or you'll die with us." Aaron's laugh was cold and lethal. "I plan to die with you," he replied, his voice sharp with finality. The demon's expression wavered as it realized the depth of Aaron's resolve. Fear flickered in its gaze. Aaron pressed a second detonator, triggering a massive line of explosions that ripped across the battlefield, leaving only devastation in their wake. The creatures panicked, some trying to flee while others were obliterated by the shockwaves. Winged beings took to the skies, desperate to escape, only to be shot down by hidden anti-air turrets. Their shields shattered, and they fell like meteors, engulfed in flames. The sky was a tempest of fire, with magical beings plummeting like shooting stars, each consumed by the hell Aaron had unleashed. Amidst the destruction, Aaron stood resolute, his face grim as he watched the chaos he had crafted. This was his final victory. He raised his last weapon, a pulse detonator that hummed with a deadly glow. Aaron's shadowed silhouette against the fiery backdrop made him appear otherworldly, an avenger of humanity. The creatures watched in horror, realizing the end was upon them as they saw the device in his hand. "This is for humanity," Aaron whispered, his voice filled with finality as he prepared to unleash ultimate devastation. With a press of the trigger, he unleashed a shockwave that blasted across the battlefield, tearing through everything in its path. The earth itself seemed to split as the blast consumed all, transforming the battlefield into a sea of fire. In the inferno, Aaron stood his ground, watching as his enemies burned. He was a shadow amidst the flames, the last remnant of a once great world. As the fires raged, Aaron disappeared into the inferno, his final stand complete, his vengeance fulfilled. In this world, the entire planet was consumed by flames. The landscape was a wasteland of fire and ash as the world crumbled into silence. Darkness descended over the scene as the fires faded, leaving only silence. A pitch-black screen appeared with the text. "Thanks for playing Paths of Paradox. There are 5 endings." The game capsule hissed open as Kaido stumbled out, feeling drained and defeated. After 4 intense hours, he had reached the bad ending. Others spoke of happy outcomes, but once again, he'd been exceptional in getting the tragic one. He rubbed his eyes as he walked through the quiet city streets, heading for the grocery store. The weight of the game lingered, but he was looking forward to his mother's cooking. Inside the grocery store, he selected items with a small smile, anticipating the comforting meal he'd enjoy at home. On his way back, he looked up at the sky and noticed the full moon, a mirror of the game's haunting scenery. The moon's glow seemed almost eerie, but he brushed the feeling aside. The moonlight cast a silver hue over the neighborhood as he walked, its beauty reminiscent of the scenes he'd seen in the game. He finally arrived at his doorstep, a small smile on his face as he thought about the warmth of home waiting inside. But as he opened the door, his heart dropped. In the dimly lit room, his mother's body lay on the floor, blood pooling around her in the moonlight. The grocery bag slipped from his hands, its contents scattering as his world shattered. Kaido's face was frozen in horror, his eyes wide, as the reality of the scene dawned on him. He was paralyzed, staring into the darkness, his mind reeling with disbelief and grief. Paths of Paradox, a story of vengeance, tragedy, and unsettling twists. Will Kaido unravel the mysteries that haunt both his virtual world and his reality? Stay tuned for the next chapter in The Last Human's Revenge. As the story continues, we have decided to change the name to Vengeance Beyond Worlds Awaits. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the beautiful Celtic music.